And most efficient trailer of the year goes to the announcement trailer for Space Marine 3, which is just this for 15 seconds. Maybe I'm alone here, but I gotta say I respect a video that respects my time. This week I got to watch two very weird live gaming events. The Rainbow Six Siege X reveal showcase and a Silent Hill transmission. You know, sometimes when I'm making these videos, I just really look forward to being able to show you things. Like, look what Ubisoft did this week. Silent Hill transmission. Equally ambitious in its creative direction. Let's talk about this one first. So this was actually the second ever Silent Hill transmission. The first happened in October of 2022. As you can see, they were already doing the cool 3D stage thing at that point. And back in 2022, there were so many Silent Hill projects on the way that it made sense for them to have a whole showcase focused on that franchise. Here now in the year 2025, it's 35 minutes dedicated exclusively to Silent Hill F, which you can wishlist now. No release date, but new trailer. Here's our premise. We're going to do a lot of interviews. Here's how we recorded some sound effects. Please just wishlist. It's funny to me when a game is ready to be wishlisted but not ready to be pre-ordered. Like Tony Hawk last week got to say pre-order now because they have a release date. Power Wash Simulator 2 was announced this week. No release date. Wishlist now. The title of this week's new Death Stranding 2 trailer is Pre-Order Trailer. The goal couldn't be clearer. Is this trailer good, by the way? I didn't watch it. It's like 10 minutes long. One thing I found interesting about the interview portion, which is to say the 32 and a half minutes, which was not the trailer, is actually how open the developers were about this project. By the way, I love that the MC has this binder. They're acting like this really is a live show. He says things like, "Please welcome the guest," when it's just two people standing in a scary street. And it's clear they have a teleprompter, but for some reason this MC said I would feel more comfortable just to be holding my binder the whole time. And I respect that immensely. At one point he says, "I'll be representing the voices of all you Silent Hill fans out there and ask these three here everything you want to know about Silent Hill F." And then he's like, "What did you take extra care with?" But what really stood out to me most in the whole Q&A is when they were asked why this game takes place in Japan. Producer Motoi Okamoto plainly states that he felt the franchise was getting a little too Western, that it was losing its Japanese essence. He says, and as more came out, the Japanese soul that it used to have became more and more faint over the years. So they just naturally course-corrected by making a 100% Japanese game. And here's composer Akira Yamaoka, who actually always had an interesting thing to say and never reads the teleprompter. And one more funny thing about how they're doing this. So Yamaoka is the Fog World composer, while the Otherworld composer is the young Kensuke Nage. And that's a fun fact I definitely never would have learned if I didn't watch this boring presentation. Anyway, Yamaoka says the game is leaning completely into its Japanese identity. While that is different from the Silent Hill games we've seen before, it also makes it something fresh. So I think this team is right in that this does make this Silent Hill unique. I think it's unordinary that they would be so candid about being nervous about the direction the franchise might be heading in. And it also kind of made the whole bizarre presentation and their commitment to it make more sense. Because I'd say the entire Silent Hill transmission had Japanese essence. What's an example of like westernized essence?
Get loud for your favorite content creators!
Obviously, I'm incredibly impressed with the scale and execution of this set design. That's just nuts. Why would you spend that much money? The show itself actually little rough around the edges, but the reason they did this whole event is not just that it's the 10th anniversary of Rainbow Six Siege, which is true, but this was the grand unveiling of Rainbow Six Siege X. It's not necessarily a new game, it's the evolution of Rainbow Six Siege, but also technically it is a new game.
But before we dive into what's next, we want to take a moment to recognize those who have made all of this possible. You. And for those who have been with us since year one, we've prepared something truly special. A new, exclusive Black Ice skin.
Am I missing something here? I feel like that's just like a very regular looking gun skin. And you can also get a veteran badge to show off the year you started playing Rainbow Six Siege. And the reason I bring that up is because when they're finally making the grand announcement, in that particular moment, they accidentally roll in that badge video again.
And we want to continue to build this game with veterans and new players from around the world. Starting June 10th, with the launch of SiegeX, new players will be able to download the game for free and jump directly into the Siege experience.
But yes, SiegeX being free to play is the big deal of the whole event. It's why it's a new game. However, there is a catch. Free to play players cannot play two modes. The ones that are most important to the core players. Ranked and Siege Cup. And I really don't know how much you want to hear about this, so I'll try to make it fast. If you're playing SiegeX for free and you want to play Ranked, you just need a premium upgrade. We're not sure at this point how much that will cost, but for a limited time there is the Rainbow Six Siege X pack, which will grant you that premium upgrade. Guess how much that costs? Nope. It's $40 US. However, anybody who owns Siege No X will get that premium upgrade for free, which means you can download that now for $4 or the deluxe edition for $6, which does include 16 additional operators, or again, this stupid thing for $40, which includes 12 operators, most of whom are silhouettes. Anyway, I feel like the most surprisingly honest part of the presentation is this acknowledgement that in making the game free to play, there will be inevitably more cheaters. Wall hacking, aim botting riffraff.
Free access will help grow the Siege community, but we want to ensure that Siege remains fair and protected, particularly for Ranked and Siege Cup.
Look, obviously we're fighting cheaters in all modes, but they're gonna show up more in the free-to-play modes. And if you have a problem with that, if you don't want to play with them, pony up. Actually reminds me of one thing I didn't bring up last week. These More Money Now slates typically whiz by really fast, too fast to visually investigate each item, which is probably by design. It's like, whoa, that seemed like a lot of things. I got a pre-order. So it's crazy that Ubisoft had this image ready and they didn't just toss that up for a second and a half at the end of their trailer. Instead, they got this call to action letting you know that if you want to play the beta, all you have to do is watch some streamer play it first. Overall, these were two very different game reveals for two very different audiences, but if I had to say someone did it best, it's Konami. It's Konami. As Spoit would put it, easy.
Jeez.
And that's delayed input and the end of our current season. I'm all out of cowboy shirts. So delayed input will return April 11th. And usually in the 3 weeks in between, I make an in-betweener video that is typically a mystery. It won't be this time. Quite obviously, I think we all know I'm going to do a hot takeaways for the big April 2nd Nintendo Direct, in which they finally reveal 3D Donkey Kong. Quite obviously. It only makes sense. Until then, thanks for watching. So I got a few comments last week letting me know I dropped the ball. I made a whole episode dedicated to talking about the reveal of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 without ever acknowledging Taco Bell Live Moss Live 2025. And we all know I love an awkward press conference.
Taco Bell truly means so much to me, and I can honestly say that Taco Bell is probably definitely my longest relationship.
But I didn't watch it. You didn't think it would be relevant to delayed input. However, in this particular Taco Bell Live Moss Live, they were proud to announce that because Tony Hawk had one photograph at a Taco Bell once, they wanted to be in the game. Not just in the mall as a closed restaurant, but you can get some exclusive Taco Bell merch in the game. Thanks for watching, Tony.
Tony, thank you for watching. Can't wait to see. Maybe we'll do some more stuff together.
But also, you know what? If we're going to be talking about awkward press conferences, I would like to go back to return to the Rainbow Six Siege X showcase, because there's so many funny moments in this. So they had voice actor Patricia Somerset as a presenter. I love this moment. She's saying goodnight. She's saying goodbye. She says, appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. Heh. And then they make her wait another 2 seconds after that before cutting away.
Thank you again, everyone. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Gratitude has been...
It's just the kind of production where they know they should blur the Yankees hat, but not by how much. But my favorite part about the whole thing is how it ended, where the two hosts are setting up some sort of guest appearance from Jinxie, who you gather is the biggest star of the entire Rainbow Six Siege scene.
Thank you to Alienware and Blacklight, our sponsors. But before we sign off, there's one person who has had an enormous impact on this game.
So they were trying to make this grand conclusion to this whole event. They're setting up Jinxie.
It's Jinxie, somebody who has breathed life, I will say it, has breathed life into this game.
However, it slowly becomes clear as these two hosts keep yammering.
It's not easy being a content creator.
It's not.
They just start talking about how they should stream together more.
I think we can start our duo shit back up. I think we should play together
You think we should
again.
stream together again?
I think we should.
You want to be a brand risk? You think we should be brand risks when we stream? You
I don't
that's a good idea?
think we're ever brand risks when we stream.
Something's going wrong with Jinxie. I don't know if it was meant to be like a live feed or somebody lost the video, but these two are clearly stalling for Jinxie.
Thank you again to all of you. Just waiting on information regarding Jinxie.
I mean, what information do we need on Jinxie? We've already, he's the face. Mm-hmm. He's that guy. He's him.
And then after 4 minutes of trying, they just decide to give up and wave goodbye. Look, I know live production is not easy. It's incredibly difficult, but you have to do better than Taco Bell.
The queso crisp taco.